Guys, it's Maria with Meet Me at Zero, and I just want to say thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, inboxing me, texting me. I appreciate the encouragement. My desire is to assist someone, help somebody. It's amazing that in doing these videos, quite a few of you get where I'm coming from or have had similar thoughts or experiences. For many of you, it's like some things are a little, I think, foreign. And so if you have not watched the previous videos, I do encourage that you do so you can kind of know where I'm coming from with my message or with my opinion about XYZ. And so in the conversation of parenting, I just want to say that I am not perfect and that I am aware that there's not a perfect person or parent on this planet. And I will share with you that in the beginning, and that's where I meet me at zero, honey. Meet me at a place where there is no opinions. Meet me in a place where we can have a dialogue. And people always want to be right, and I don't have time to argue or convince anybody about religion or politics or anything, because we all have a different experience based on what we've lived. And so we can enrich each other's life when we can come together with an open mind and say, okay, let me listen to this and see if it makes any sense. And see, actions and longevity will give you the point. But being forceful and disrespectful and thinking that your way is going to win really doesn't really change anything, but creates an animosity. And so when it comes to children, it is exactly the same dynamic. So I'll start by saying that in the beginning in the garden, our perfect Father God created everything, and Adam and Eve were created, and they were not children. They were adults, and God told them, do not touch the tree. And what exactly did they do? They touched the tree. So as parents, we are constantly telling our kids, don't do this, don't do that. And they exactly do that. But it also is the way we say it. So let me explain. It's not only in that concept of telling them don't. It's in our judging. It's in our misinformation. It's in our inflexibility to have the real conversations with them. So for me, growing up, it was like everything you did, everything I did. If you do drugs, God's gonna kill you. If you drink alcohol, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. If you do drugs, if you have sex, you're gonna die. Everything was in that. There was no gauge. There was no levels to it, honey. It was just, you're gonna die. So you can't go, because I was raised that way. I can't go to the next generation and say, you're just gonna, no. You have to be real in regards to what you live that you do know, because you go through something to tell somebody about it, whether you think people want to hear it or not. And some things are more personal and some things are not. But I believe that whatever you're going through, there are times that God will place a person in your life. And it could be a total stranger at a doctor's office, or a total stranger in the bus, or a total stranger in the supermarket, that will have a breakdown, come to you, and somehow something you've lived through will resonate or will come about and flourish at that time, so that you can speak life to the person that's telling you the problem. And that's happened to me numerous times. I got stories. And so with our kids, it's the same thing. So in the measure in which you are flexible and willing to educate yourself about everything. So when you talk about sex, it can't be, well, sex is bad for you, don't have it. You know how many kids, have y'all seen the statistic on STDs in our teenagers? Have y'all seen it? So I'm here thinking, yes, it's possible that some parents are telling their kids don't have, unprotected sex. But if you're telling your child don't have sex because it's a sin, you are part of the problem. Because whether you believe or not in birth control, if you love your child, you're going to give them all the information. All of it. the one you agree with and the one you don't agree with. And you're going to let them have the best shot at it. So when we have kids, and like I said, my kids have had a phone since they were small children. Thankfully, oh my gosh, the phones now, kids getting kidnapped, kids talking to strangers, um, kids bullying, this Facebook Live foolishness that everything goes on live. Um, it's just a complete different monster that our kids, we think they're ready, they're really not. Because everything has a consequence. Everything that you do is out there once you do it. And once you hit social media, everybody, within a minute, everybody can see it. You go live, everybody, you got friends. And these kids, I mean, it's rampant. So in the measure in which you prepare yourself to tell your kids and give them the best opportunity, hopefully they're going to make better decisions based on what you told them. I'm not going to say that they're always going to make your decision, because in life, we're all in a journey and we're all taking lessons, sometimes the same lesson over and over. And everybody is working on their story and it's unique to them and to God. But I think that if we are open-minded about life, we're open-minded about faith, love, mercy, and compassion, then we bring God back into the equation of daily life and connection versus judgment versus denial. We have a better shot when we position things out of love and good intentions than we do with manipulation or control. So the hardest thing about being a parent, parenting gets harder as your kids get older. Just in case you didn't know, the older your kids get, because you never stop parenting till the day you die. Okay, to a degree. And it seems like we start out, our parents take care of us, and as we get older and we mature and we go through life and we learn things differently, we're either evolving or we're not. And the effect is noticeable as you get older. If you're dealing with an older person who's inflexible, who is limited, who is stuck in their ways. And a lot of times we say, well, that's how old people are. No, because, some old people are bitter and rude and entitled and mean-spirited. And then you have old people that are sweet, they're loving, they laugh, they are, they're savvy with their phones, they're up to date, they're full of life, they travel, they love on people, and it's just a different experience. And so I think that as you get older, you should be aging better and sweeter and not bitter. But when you're having to parent your parents and you are not flexible and they're not flexible, but when you are flexible and they might not be as flexible, then you might have an opportunity to teach, to enlighten. And I find myself doing that with my parents. I was sharing with somebody today that it seems that now that my parents are getting older, and I'm sure my peers, my brothers, feel the same way. We're having like a different conversation piece with our parents about real life issues, about reality, about perception, about challenge, because I grew up in a time where you didn't challenge anything, you took it at face value. And that took me through a period of time that I challenged everything I was taught, including my faith, including God. And it took me many years to come up to my own conclusion of my own experience with God, my faith, what I've overcome, what's happened to me, what decisions I made. And when I came to terms with everything about myself, then I can look at another person and say, hold on, this is what I went through. This is my story. They must have a story. Because nobody's perfect. There's not a perfect person on this planet. I don't care what you see on social media. And talking to young people, it's like key that I let them know, listen, we are all at fault. There is no perfect anything. Make the best sound decision. Go to your parents and tell them. I encourage as many kids to tell their parents when they come to me, and even young adults that are already adults. Talk to your parents. They usually want the best interest at heart. They might not be the most educated. They might not be the most open-minded, but tell them. Later on, eventually they're going to find out if you do something stupid anyway. But if you are, and I'm not talking about changing your ways or your belief system or your values and your morals, because y'all run out. Stay with me. But when you let them speak, let them verbalize, pray about it, and give them some wisdom, with time, they're like, darn, Mom, you were right. You told me because I thought about it. And the way I like to see it is, if somebody comes to me for advice, I'm going to give them the same advice I will give my kids. If there's an ABC option, these are the options you have. Whatever it is, there's more than one option or outcome that's going to happen out of something. And so some is immediate, some it might take a little longer, and some you might get lucky and not have to deal with anything. But in the measure in which we can speak life and truth, I think we can make a profound difference in the next generation with all the issues they have going on in the media, attention seeking. They are trying to fit in some way. They're trying to get attention. They're not getting it home. And so in the measure in which we can identify where we can make a difference and be honest about it, then I think that we have a chance to make things slightly better in the future. So next time, meet me at 0 and we'll continue talking about parenting adult children. If you think having little kids is rough, honey, when you have adult children, it's a different monster. And not because it's a bad thing, but because you have to trust that everything that you've taught them, something has stuck, even though they're working on their own story. So meet me at 0 next week. I hope you have a mighty week. Be a blessing to somebody. Bye-bye.